Alrighty. Hi, everyone. My name is Allison Sommers. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the residential life coordinator for Herndon and Witt-Winn Hall, so about half of our first year area. I decided that if you had not attended an RA closing floor meeting, I wanted to make sure I did my best to get some good information to you about how to leave the residence halls as that time is quickly approaching. And so follow along with this video. You can listen, look at the slides I'll be going through as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself. Our general residential life office here in the Witt Center or via phone, it's 210-999-7219. Or find the RA on your floor to ask any questions that you have of them. They are trained and ready to go to answer those questions. So, as first year students, in case you didn't know, we close the residence halls for winter break. And so essentially what I like to say is that you got to be gone for about a month. And so this is how we do that. And then as we are in finals, and then as we exit finals, how we do those things. So important dates. Some of these already passed. So late night breakfast has already happened. It was super fun. And then we also have reading days, which end today on the 11th. And then this is also where quiet hours begin, 24-hour quiet hours. Normally we have 24-hour courtesy hours, but now it is a strict 24-hour quiet hours. And then we have final exams and then a little bit of break before our residence halls close on Saturday the 20th at 12 p.m. Um, and everyone must be out by that time. And then you can come back January 11th, which is a Sunday, again at 12 p.m. And then classes will begin that Wednesday. So why these 24-hour quiet hours? Great question. We want to make sure that the halls are quiet for a variety of needs. One, for studying and preparation for finals, recovery from finals, and doing all that we need in this high academic season to the best of our ability and to meet all those needs. So whether it's recouping, whether it's prepping, or all the above, or just existing, we want to make sure that we can maintain a very peaceful hall environment for other folks. Even if you are finished with your finals, others may not. And so, um, how we do this to limit those extended conversations in the hallway, right? If you want to chat with someone, go to their room or go to a common space where your sound may not be amplified, and no listening to music, playing video games, unless you're using headphones. What I like to tell people is this is not the time to start learning how to play drums. And so, because we don't know where everyone is at in their schedules. And so residential life staff, including RAs, will not be giving any noise warnings. That's more typical of what we do during the year. However, at this time, if you are found to be in violation of 24-hour quiet hours, they will document that via incident report. And so, yeah, we encourage working through that yourselves. Go knock on a door, say, hey, I'm hearing you, or send a message if you can. And then if not, you can also call the RA on call, which is 210-946-3043, and they can come help you address that to support you and support our hall environment. And so our expectations are that you leave the halls 24 hours after your last exam or by 12 noon on the 20th, whichever comes first. And so, for example, if your finals are done on the 14th, we would ask that you be gone by the 15th. And but we understand like things happen, and so just communicate if there is a concern with meeting that deadline. Um, and then if you are failed to depart by noon on the 20th, which is when everyone must be out, then there will be a fine for every hour that you are late. If there are emergencies, right, sometimes things happen in terms of things very much outside of our control, like, hi, a plane got canceled, or my ride's tire blew out. Like, those are things that we can work with, but we ask that you make all the best plans to be out by 24 hours after your last final, or by the 20th at 12. And then, yeah, you will not have access to your rooms during break. this access will go away once you have departed campus. And so take everything that you think you will need, and that is not necessarily replaceable. For me, anytime I travel home, I usually forget toothpaste, and thankfully I can go grab a little bit if you are able, or my family may have some that I can take from their stash. But it's hard to replicate a passport or need very needed medication. So start thinking about what do you need to take home for about a month in order to function fully. We cannot provide access over the break to get those things. And so think about what you need or what you may need, and what is replaceable or what is non-negotiable, like this must go home. And then this also includes fish. And so if you have fish, make sure you plan for them to get them home or have them cared for while you are away or may need to travel. And then if you are not returning for the spring, meaning that you are no longer going to be a Trinity University student, we have a fall departure form that we ask that you fill out just to tell us so we have that on record and we can get very specific information to you about how to fully check out. Because if you are not returning, you're going to have a couple extra steps to complete with your RA. This form in particular is linked on or printed on your RA's bulletin board. There we go. That is, oh gosh, okay. But your RAs have bulletin boards up with all this closing information as well. So I would go find that QR code on there, or again, connect with them and they'll get you that link. And then that way you get the best information for what to do for your specific needs. Again, if you are not returning in the spring as a Trinity University student. And then if you have an empty space or in your room and or suite, please know that one that needs to be prepared to potentially receive a new roommate, meaning that it needs to be empty. So a desk, a chair, a bed, dresser, and shelf need to be kind of ready for someone to walk in. We cannot guarantee that you will or will not get a new roommate as that is always evolving, even as we get closer to the start of the spring semester with transfers and other needs and things like that. And so do know that if staff, when we come in and we have to reset a room in order to meet a need for a new roommate, that you will be charged for failure to comply with that. If you have more questions, again, happy to chat or your RA. Just know that there is a possibility that you will receive a new person in your suite or your room. If that is the case, we will do our best to communicate that with you so there is no shock on either side. Room readiness checklist. RAs will be coming by later next week which is like around the 15th or so, to be putting these directly on your door, as well as, again, these are on the closing bulletin boards. Y'all are all very smart, and so I won't read everything to you, but I recommend pausing and take a looking at all these, or again, go find that RA bulletin board. But essentially, we need the room to be ready to be empty for a month. So things that would grow, something they need to be gone. Many of your RAs may have told you I am not a fan of pumpkins, so that's one, seasonal decor, and two, it's something that's going to grow. And so get rid of those pumpkins if you still have them. Remove all trash. Unplug everything except the except the fridge. All other electrical appliances will just be kind of sucking up some energy that we don't need to. So get rid of your vampire electronics, as they're called. Submit work orders for maintenance, so those can be addressed before you come back. And then remove all items from your balconies and secure the door. We will not be monitoring the halls as much just because there's very few people here. And so we want your stuff and we are safe here, but it's just really smart to bring those things in if there's not constant eyes out and about. And I told my RAs to tell residents that we don't chase down stuff. So if you have something and it like blew away, it's not my job to chase after it. So take care of your belongings and bring them in when you're ready to depart. And then all of these must be completed before the last person leaves your room or your suite. And so I will do my best to kind of make this lingo make sense. So if I have a dog, and so if me and my dog are in my room, Allison and Bean, if Allison leaves on the 16th, and so I am done with my finals. I'm ready to go. I get everything that I need. I've moved everything that was mine on the balcony inside. I'm ready to go. Told my RA, hey, I left. And then Bean, my dog, leaves on the 18th. Bean is responsible to make sure that all of the trash is gone, all the recycling, everything else that was on the balcony. If it was Beans, came inside, doors are locked. Everything that isn't needed to be plugged in is unplugged. Um, and yes, so it would fall onto Bean, but that responsibility is with both of us because we need to be communicating with each other about our timelines and making sure that this checklist is on our mind because we care about individuals, but we also are looking at the room as a whole, and so that responsibility is shared. And then if there's failure to complete some of these things, we will move your stuff, and in order to have the room be in compliance, which we'll, just we'll put it wherever we can. And then failure to adhere to that list, depending on if there's something that crazy that happens. In Texas, freezing is a little less likely, knock on wood. But again, you're not going to be here for about a month. And so just do your best to get the room ready to be without you for that period of time. And then after you leave, Res Life staff will check the room to ensure that the checklist is completed. We're not going to be searching, but we need to make sure that all of our rooms in our buildings are ready to be vacant for this extended period of time. And then if we do see any policy violations, those will be addressed and referred through the student conduct process. And then professional staff members, including facilities and residential life, they and some others are here past our residence hall closing. And so if you have a work order that's needed for your room, like, hey, this sink is a little drippy, go ahead and put that work order in. Staff may be able to address it prior to us leaving for winter break or before you arrive again in January. So let us know there's something so that we could potentially address it. And then this was a template that my RA Braden made. Thank you, Braden. But check in with your RA. They are getting also ready for the spring semester. And so if you have an idea of what you want to see for your hall theme or maybe a fun event that you want to do, put it on their radar now. Obviously, we're in finals, but they love that information that can help them think about what you maybe are looking for in next year's fall. And with that, good luck with finals. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Hopefully you've seen this link in your email, which is my email is asommers@trinity.edu. Um, excuse me, you can find me in the Witt Center in room 200B. Plenty of door tags on my door to let you know which one is me. Or just come walk in and our student staff or our professional staff will be happy to help you to make sure that you are ready to go. Um, excuse me. And then one other note that I have, just because I know some of you may have questions, if you are athletes who have an NCAA requirement to remain on campus over break, that is something that we will be aware of. And so that didn't necessarily fall into that emergency things where we talked about earlier about staying past your finals. But make sure that you are communicating to your coaches like, hey, can you make sure Res Life knows that I gotta stay here? Again, we know that you have to. We're not gonna be fighting the NCAA or anything, but we just will get that information a little bit closer towards closing. So, but if you are an athlete who is required to be here, do know that that's something that we know and are prepared for. So if you have any other questions, like I said, come find me or someone in residential life in the Witt Center. We're open 8 to 5 every day. And then go find your RA or a bulletin board. It doesn't even have to be your RA. Go find an RA and knock on their door. They'd be really willing and happy to help you. So I hope you have a great day. Good luck with your finals. Y'all got this. If I haven't seen you for the snacks and things I've been passing around, feel free to go find some good calm drinks and fruit snacks in the study alcoves in Witt-Winn. And y'all got this. And if you want anything, feel free to come find me. All right. Bye. Pause up.